Hi everybody, welcome to Wool and Wine episode 52. I'm Tammy.
I'm Claudia.
I'm Janet.
And welcome for today. We're doing our 5 favorite knits from 2024.
We are.
And we're recording here in Bellbrook, Ohio, which is a south suburb of Dayton. And it's a beautiful sunny day today. It's the 28th of January.
Mm-hmm.
And we're happy to be back.
We are.
We are, yeah.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, yeah, before we get going, cheers. I love that sound.
Yum.
Yum.
Gotta love it.
I'm trying to figure out where to put it so it's not in the way.
Yeah.
Well, so like Claudia said, we're going to talk about our top 5, and they may not be our top favorite to wear, but they're our top favorite that we've knit. There'll be more on that in a hot minute. I haven't even worn one of mine yet that I'm showing you.
Well, you're like Miss Productive. I mean, the ones I'm showing are the ones pretty much the only thing I knit last year. So.
And that's okay.
And it is okay. I'm good with it.
Yeah. So let's start with what we're wearing because this is one of our 5.
Yes, they are. Well, I am wearing the Letho. And here's the video. And that is by Natasja Hornby. And I used 4 different yarns. And as you saw on the video, it goes up, the green goes up the back. But what I used is the Gilsk Tweed, which is the green color. Then I used a soft Donegal in the gray, dark gray. And the rust color is from Tacky Yarns Donegal Tweed and colorway Redwood. And then just white heather. I actually held it double because it's a fingering. And it's a natural undyed by Fiber Company.
Beautiful.
It's so gorgeous.
Thank you. I love this. I think I have to say this is probably my favorite. You know, and I didn't even wear a jacket today. I just wore this because
It's a lot nicer and it's sunshiny.
it's warm. You know, it's a very warm sweater, jacket, and yeah. So I guess I can show you some of the detail with the color. So yeah, there you go, all the colors together.
Beautiful. And you were inspired by another knitter.
I
who knit
did.
the
I
pattern.
can't take credit for choosing these colors. Somebody else had one that they had done in a project, and I just fell in love with the colors, and I just happened to have them all, and so I said I'm going to do it that way.
And they're so your colors.
They are. It's all my colors. Yeah, so it works out really well. The only thing, so when I blocked my sweater, the sleeves grew quite a bit. And so like when that's how long they are. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I was toying with the idea of cutting couple inches out and just doing a Kitchener, the top and back together. But I wasn't in the mood.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's not bad.
It really is okay. And the thing is, it's knit end to end, right? So cuff to cuff, and they meet in the middle, and with all that gorgeousness up the back. So it's not like you can just
easily
pick something out and make it shorter, because that's
Right.
actually where you start.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Now on the band here, I did have to go up a couple sizes on the I-cord going across the neck.
Yep.
Because I don't remember what main one was, but I think I went up 2 or 3 sizes to get it to lay flat.
Right.
around the neck.
You did. So we knit or did the I-cord from the bottom to about here in one size, and from here to here in a bigger size, and then did a really big size around the back just to give it all that extra stretch. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I do too.
And I've done that since on other things because it makes so much sense to do it that way.
It does. It
On
really
a shawl
does.
collar.
Yeah, it really
does.
is nice. So.
And this wasn't an I-cord, it was just a bind off, but it makes that much of a difference.
It does.
Yeah.
It really did. Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and that was our knit along.
That was
for
our
last
knit
year,
along, which
and
was fun.
It was fun. Yeah.
I was thinking the other day, I said I really wouldn't mind doing another one of these again in
Told
a different
ya.
color.
Told you.
I know.
When I knit my second one, they're like, "Really? You're gonna knit a second one of those?" I'm like, "Yeah, I love it.
I do. I love mine too.
I love it." All right. So, Miss Janet, what's up?
So I'm wearing the Oksa by Caitlin Hunter. And here's the video. And here's just a little close-up of what the fabric looks like. So I used the Brooklyn Tweed Shelter in colorway Homemade Jam for this. And I just love the wool.
Oh yeah.
So
And
pretty.
yeah, it's just, this sweater was really fun with the yoke detail at the top, and it was just a really fun knit. It fits just perfectly in the sleeves.
Yeah, it's
and
great. Yeah.
I really like it. Obviously, it's one of my favorite 5 for 2024. Easy wearing, it's nice and warm and cozy, and
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Love it.
And
It
it's on
is.
my list.
Yeah. This keeps getting longer, doesn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, those lists. Did you make modifications?
No,
Nope.
no modifications.
Just a pattern.
Just a pattern.
Gorgeous.
This was a size, I think it was 40. So that's where I fit right in there in the size 40 category.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I am wearing the Campari by Thea Colman. And then here's the video. So this was a test knit, and it's been killing me to not show you. And what happened was last episode, she released it the very day after we podcasted. And so it was actually out by the time the video was edited and out. And I was just, I really need to reach out when we're about to podcast from now on if I'm doing a test knit and say, okay, we're going to be releasing it on this date. Is it cool if I show it? So I've been sitting on this all this time and not been able to show you. So it is this beautiful, oh good, the light is catching it perfectly.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful, all over cabled, bottom up beauty. And it has an applied button band, and then you pick up stitches and knit down the sleeves. Now, I did make, I was going to say a modification, but I didn't purposely modify it. I usually, for small circumferences, go up a needle size because my gauge gets a little bit smaller, and on this one I didn't. So if you notice that my sleeves are more fitted than they are on the actual pattern page or the sample, it's because I didn't go up a needle size. So I really did tighten up my gauge a bit. So the yarns I used are scrumptious, It is Brooklyn tweed. Let's see if I can get the girls out of there. There we go. Brooklyn tweed reply rambouillet, and the colorway of this first color is brickwork, and I held it with Labrebus. That's actually really blowing out. There we go. Labrebus. This was a knit crate. It's 100% alpaca in the chestnut colorway. You can't get this yarn anymore, but what you can get is almost an identical color in alpaca soft lace from Hobie Yarn Company. And this is, oh, I guess this is fingering weight, but they've got that, it's soft alpaca lace and then 100% alpaca that's a fingering weight. So you can get same yarn basically from a different source. But I held these two together and you can see that the colors are not the same, but definitely complementary. And it's a very, from a distance, it just looks like a nice rusty, and then up close you can see it's got a little bit of heathering in it. But I love it. This is very rustic, super soft though. I have enough skeins of this left. I might do a shawl, and that I think that would just be gorgeous. And it's very soft. Yeah. It's more rustic. This, 100% alpaca is like baby bunny up against your skin.
Right. But putting them together gives this more structure.
Yeah, because you really have to be careful with 100% alpaca. You can't knit a sweater, and you couldn't. You certainly, you can, but you just have to know automatically that it's going to be very floppy.
Yeah.
Right, it's going to be drapey, not floppy, but definitely completely drapey. So, love that.
That's beautiful. That sweater fits you just perfect.
It is gorgeous.
Yeah, I don't know thank you. Before we forget, every single thing we talk about is going to be linked to each of our own Ravelry pages for the project, and we're trying to be really good podcasters and keep those updated. with the yarn.
She's really good.
Yeah, if we're going to link it for all of you, we kind of have to try. But the sizes we knit, the yarns we use, the amount of yarn that we use, because, we all try to weigh them and put yardage in when we're done. So that should all be out there. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say about it except I highly recommend the pattern. This is not done with a cable needle. It's left and right twists, and she gives you amazing instructions inside the pattern on how to do it. But when I do it, I only, like for a left twist, I knit into the back loop of the second stitch on my left needle, and then I knit into the first stitch and then pull them both off together. And she does it a little bit different way. On the right twist, I knit into the second stitch in the front like a regular knit stitch, and then into the first stitch and pull them off the needle. So it twists them accordingly.
So is that a cross, left cross, right cross?
It's a single stitch, left cross, right cross.
Yeah.
Okay.
Left twist, right twist, left cross, right cross. They could be the same. It's exactly the same.
Okay.
Some people just call them different things. But it's that easy. And she's got this gorgeous, it's like knit along the edge. So when you pick up stitches, you're picking up right between the two knit stitches. So it's got this one beautiful knit line all the way up with the decreases done on the body side of it. So it just makes it super clean. And I had these buttons. I got to show you. I'll unbutton one and show you. So they look like just these amazing little wooden buttons. These are the same ones I got on Amazon. Can you see? Yeah, you can. You can see the back side of it. They've got like some little flower pattern on them, but I wanted them to just be plain, so I put that flower pattern down. See what I'm, you remember?
I do remember. Looks good.
Yeah, they're just like the perfect deep mahogany kind of a match, I guess is what I would call them. Anyway.
Moving on.
Number 2 for you.
Number 2 for me is the Cumulus Blouse by Petiteknit. And Here's the video. So I love this sweater. I like V-neck sweaters a lot. And this one does not disappoint. I like the gauge. It was an 18 gauge, I think. And I used Frankie Gray fibers. The orange is the background. And I should have brought I had a little bit left. I should have brought it. But, and then, well, it was more of a, I don't know, I wouldn't call it orange. It's more of a peachy pink.
Yeah, it's like
color.
a hot peachy pink.
Yeah, and then I held it with Pearl Soho linen quill in the colorway Red Poppy. So it has a really nice marled look, and those colors went so well together. I'm really happy with it.
It kind of blows out up close to the camera, but back here when you hold it up, that's really more what it looks like to the naked eye. It's much more, yeah, it's more of a soft marl.
Yeah, it is. So, yeah, I love it. I did no modifications. Although I did struggle with the neckline because I was so afraid it was going to like be down to here. And so I started putting on a 1x1, I think, rib around it. And then I didn't like that, and I ripped it out, and I did something else, and decided to go ahead and try the I-cord, which was perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
silly girl.
Yeah, it is perfect. That's
Yeah,
such a gorgeous sweater.
It is, and it fits great. Highly recommend the pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Number 2
so
for you.
Number 2 for me would be the Pressed Flowers Pullover by Amy Christoffers. And here's the video. That's what it looks
So perfectly plum.
It is, it's beautiful.
It is. Very plum with very colorful flowers.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
So this was our Rhinebeck sweater that we all made together and we all wore it Rhinebeck.
Yeah, that was fun.
And it was just a really fun knit, and it was just a lot of fun picking up the colors for all the different flowers. So I had used the Scout, the Kelborn Woolen Scout. Let's see. And it was colorway, was like a plum. And I just put it right here. Yeah. Mulberry Heather.
Oh. Well, that does look like a plum.
So it was like a plum. It was called Mulberry Heather in the Kelborn Woolen Scout. Love this yarn. And then I held it with the Yarn Hero Merge Sport in colorway Groovy. And then I didn't have enough, so I bought the Feederbrook Farms Entropy Decay. And the color was Free Fall on that. And they were so similar that it just worked out really nice
Yeah.
together.
They look like they came from the same skein.
Yeah.
Really good.
So it was just a really fun knit, and it definitely fell into my top 5.
Gorgeous.
And I did no modifications on this. And I'm not sure what size, but it was probably like a 42
I bet it was a 40-ish,
or 40-ish. Yes.
Yeah, I can't even remember.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Good job.
Wow. Okay, so I guess I could go straight down the list. So Bermy Basic 14 by Beth MacDonald Stone. And here's the video. I love this. So this was actually my second test knit of that. I did one in Lamb and Kid Big Birdie. I had bought all the colors at Rhinebeck the year before, and I had them all hanging out, and I knit the first one with Big Birdie, and I loved it. And then I decided that I had Knit Picks Wool of the Andes in Dove Heather, I think.
Yeah, I think
What
that's
did I do
true.
with that? Wow. Oh, there it is. I'm like, it was
Right
right here in
here.
front of me. I didn't write those down, but I think I know them. Dove Heather, and then I held that with cashmere, a lace weight cashmere, and got the most scrumptious fabric. But the Bermy Basic 14 is one of Beth MacDonald's stones. Like I said, it was a test knit, and she did everything from like a 14 stitch gauge to a way up in the 20 stitch gauges. And it is such a nice, easy to wear, round yoke sweater. I just love it. I think it's honestly, it might be my top favorite so far, just because I've had this one longer and worn it more than any of the others.
Well, it's good. We've had great weather to wear things like this.
Yeah.
They're real heavy.
Yeah, and it's real. It looks heavy, but honestly,
It's
you
really
can see how
not.
much light there is through it. It's very breathable. I wore this when we were in Europe, and that was what, September? Yeah, because we were there during Oktoberfest, and it was a beautiful sunny day, but it was crisp. You know, there was a chill in the air, and I wore this all day long, and it was perfect to be out like that. So that's another one.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. My next one is The Forager by Isabell Kraemer. Here's the video. And I use the Rowan felted tweed in the colorway Barbara. And I really like it. I can't say, I don't know, I've been trying to figure out what is my holdup with wearing it a lot, because I think I'm just not used to wearing this color, even though it looks good. They say it looks good on me.
It does. It looks really good.
So I love the details on this. You've got the side. The pattern is, they call it a faux cable. And you can see it's coming up the side. Hope you can see that. Oops,
There.
twisted. And then there was a nice little detail between the body and the ribbing. It's sort of like a,
It almost looks
Latvian
like
braid.
yeah.
It's almost like a Latvian braid, but it just gives it a nice definition between the body and the ribbing.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
It is pretty and super easy.
And you can't go wrong with Rowan felted tweed.
No, I love Rowan felted tweed.
Yeah.
We did have a comment that somebody thought it was a little bit fuzzy, and you get it all over your clothes.
Like it comes
Sheds.
sheds on you when you're
Yeah.
knitting with it, and it does shed when you're knitting with it. But once you block it, it's like it all comes out, and anything that's gonna shed stops.
And I haven't even noticed it pilling much. I've had a couple sweaters in Rowan felted tweed, and I love it. But I made no modifications. It is what it is. I think I made a 45, maybe 44. So that's my number 3.
Beautiful.
It's a beauty.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. On your list.
Well, my next one is the Taybern by Joan Forgione. And here's the video. And here's what it looks like. Again.
It's so pretty.
I had this beautiful yarn, Cascade 220 and Cascade 220 Heathers, which is the dark color in colorway Pacific, and this is an Aqua Haze, is the lighter color. And I really wanted to make this sweater, so this was this was a fun knit too. I had a little problems with it as far as doing the color work too tight. So, and I made it too big at first when I did so then I had to rip it back and go down a needle size.
Yeah, we were in the car going
And-
to Rhinebeck.
Yeah, had my troubles. But anyway, I do really like the fit now on it, and I like the way it turned out.
Yeah.
No real modifications, just knit to pattern. And I'm very happy with it.
That Cascade 220 is some really nice yarn.
Yes.
And you've
Yes.
worn that a few times, and there's not a single pill on that.
Right. Right.
It's pretty amazing.
It's really nice. It's the non-superwash
Yeah.
yarn.
It's a
And,
good one.
Very nice.
Yes.
Okay, well, my next one in my top 5 is the Orbits by Rachel Illsley. And then here's a video of me wearing it. So this was on the needles for, I don't know, a year and a half. It got put in timeout, and I don't know why. I think that the season changed, and then I just kind of got out of it. But, oh my goodness.
Oh, that's so pretty in the camera.
It is such a beauty. It is so good. I'm so glad that I finished this. So the yarns that I used on this are Holskarn, super soft, and I had the blue color in a cone, this navy blue, and it's actually not navy. It has another color name. It's on my pattern.
Yes, because it was more of a purple. It has like a purple
Name.
hint to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so
Beautiful.
dark blue. And then the color changing yarn is Hobby Dream Color, and it's a fingering weight yarn also. And it's something shore, sandy beach.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, again, on my, I promise that's on my Ravelry page. If you don't have access to Ravelry and you really want to know, reach out, because I'm telling you, that's some fabulous yarn. Also non-superwash. And I mean, I had to do a little bit of color management for the sleeves to get them to match up with the body. So I can tell you that this stuff spit splices like a dream. I mean, of course, the Super Soft does. I love Super Soft. That's so good. It's actually coming up in something that I'm going to be working on real soon. But I love this. Modifications, I think I made the sleeves 3/4 length by choice. I don't think that's what it was in the pattern. But because it's a fingering weight sweater, but of course it's almost like DK for this whole part of it where the color work is, because you've got 2 layers. I think that I wanted 3/4 length sleeves just to have some air. Just to have some flowiness. And it seems to me like I did ladder back jacquard for this part where the color work is very far apart on the bottom. And I know you all love to see people's floats, so I will show you my ladder back jacquard floats. And there it is. So you can see where this chain stitch goes down. That's actually a separate layer of fabric so that it doesn't pull through on the front side. And then you can see where it changes from ladder back here to regular stranded color work higher up. But
Nice.
you can't see it from the front. And that is the easiest thing ever. Once you get started, that first round is the tricky one, and then when you come up to it, every time you get to it on the next, the subsequent rounds, it's just a breeze. But I really, really do love this sweater. And I've worn it a couple of times already, so it's good. It looks really nice with tan slacks.
I bet it does.
It makes that sandy color just pop. But that hobby yarn, man, I really recommend that. So far, all the yarns that I've talked about, I think I highly recommend.
Yeah.
I think you do too. Yeah, because it's Brooklyn tweed and
Cascade 220.
Cascade, and then your pressed flowers.
With
Yeah.
the Colman woolen scout.
Yeah, yeah,
One of my favorites.
yeah. Okay, so Claudia.
My next one is the Anjou by Skeinny Dippin. And here's the video. And so I made this size 50 because the gauge for this was an 18 gauge, and the yarn that I had that I wanted to use was a DK, so I went down a needle size and got a 20 gauge, which I really liked. So in order to make it fit, I went down.
Yeah, you went up a size.
Up a size,
to
but
go
down needles.
Needle size, yeah.
Right. And the yarn I use, the background light green is the Knit Picks Paragon in the colorway Topiary. And I know they don't make that anymore because I got it on sale when they were discontinuing it. And then the other yarn is Utopia Helix DK. I got that at Rhinebeck, and was it 2 years ago? And the colorway is Earth. And so there it is in all its beauty.
Wow, I just love that.
It was actually a very fun knit. It is a slip stitch, and so it was easy. The only thing I would say, I would not call this a beginner's sweater, only unless you have help. Only because when you're adding your sleeves, sometimes you got to know what your color patterns are there so that you can do the right color at the right time and all that. So
There's not a lot of hand holding.
no.
You'd
So-
think by the time you get to the sleeves, though, because it's bottom up, right?
Right.
You've got all that you've done, all
it's
that
top
patterning.
down. It's top down.
Is it top down?
Yes, it
Oh,
is
okay.
top down. Yeah, I had to think about that a second. Fun knit, I
Yeah.
have to say. The Knit Picks Paragon is really a soft yarn, and I don't remember what the content
little bit of
is.
silk, isn't there?
Yeah, there's silk and alpaca
Yeah.
and wool, I think, isn't there? I don't remember.
I
It's on
can't-
my. You can look it
I
up.
don't know.
But it does pill a little bit. So I haven't shaved it since I finished it. But it still looks good. It's holding up really well. And I really do like it.
Yeah.
I really do like it a lot.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and the earth, every time you've said that, I'm like, it really doesn't seem like earth, but you know what it looks like? It looks like earth from space.
Oh, there you
Right?
go.
Because with
Could
the
be.
blues and greens
Yeah.
and grays and,
Yeah, all the different colors in it, yeah.
but it's more
Yeah.
like earth from a distance, not standing here looking down at the earth.
Right.
Another nice thing about that, like, is it's top down.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like to make a top down?
Oh,
sweater?
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Versus,
forgot.
I
how-
bet you Andy or Mowry's is a bottom up.
It probably is, but it looks like it's the same shape that she did for framed, and then something else that she just her weekender, where it's got the ribbing at the top.
Yeah.
So I think on those, well, I know for certain on a couple of those, you just pick up stitches, and she does.
Because hers is
It's
is a
very
drop
straight.
shoulder.
It's
Drop
drop
shoulder.
shoulder.
See,
with
this is
that.
not drop shoulder.
You're almost
Right.
you're doing short rows back and forth, aren't you, to build the shoulder cap on that one? Yeah.
So that's the difference, which
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
beautiful though.
Uh-huh.
We love it every time she wears it. It's like, oh my gosh, you got that one on.
Yeah, I do.
Right.
So yeah, I would highly recommend it.
Yeah,
It's a fun pattern, and yeah, I tried to do some yarn management, but I don't think it worked out too well.
oh, it did this time.
This time, well, first I had to rip out back up to here at one point
It got real light blue.
because it was too light, and it just looked weird.
the
So,
contrast wasn't as much as it was on the overall sweater.
yeah. So
But I mean, whatever you did after you fixed it, it looks amazing.
thank you. All right.
Yeah.
Next.
Okay.
Right. My next one is the Autumn Alpine by Caitlin Hunter. And here's the video.
Just love that.
I do too. The detail on the ribbing is just so cool.
Thank you. So this is, I would have to say, this is my top
Top.
top for 2024. I really love this sweater. So what I did use was the Galler Yarns alpaca. So this is the prime alpaca in colorway silver gray. And then I used the Five Pines Studio, was their hand dyed or hand spun yarn,
Gorgeous.
and like a multicolored,
Right.
and I loved it because it was like hand spun.
Yeah.
And so without having to spin it myself.
Right.
And so I love the color, and everything was beautiful. So this is, I know Tammi had talked earlier about alpaca and how, oh, that's way too. It is drapey. It does have a drapiness to it, but I love it.
Well, so you have hand spun at the top, giving it structure up here. If this was all just alpaca, it wouldn't have that really, it wouldn't maintain such a beautiful crisp shape at the shoulders. You know what I mean? It's like it's so, because it's a heavy sweater.
Right.
But that other yarn, this 100% wool that you're stranding with it up there is probably just giving
Yeah,
it enough.
it's
But
just
I mean,
beautiful.
it's just so drapey and gorgeous.
Yeah.
It is. It's beautiful.
Ugh. And this is one
So-
strand. You didn't double strand this?
No, this is a DK. It's like a DK, or I would almost say a heavier sport, or
Yeah.
like DK.
That's so nice.
But
So soft. It's like holding a baby bunny. Every time I feel just alpaca by itself, that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
but I just love this, like the band at the bottom. It's just the detail on that is really
Yeah.
pretty.
It's so pretty. Yeah.
So pretty. So two of my sweaters, two of my top 5 were both by Caitlin Hunter this, in 2024. So.
All right, so my next one is the Cinnamon and Bourbon by Thea Colman. And here's the video. So you've all seen this one before. This was a test knit, and I did wear this at Rhinebeck. I just love this. It's just, there's something so good about it.
It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of frosting on a cake.
Uh-huh.
There's just, I don't know.
She mentioned in her pattern, I was looking at that too because that's going to be one of my next things. How it almost looks like icing.
Yeah.
The white part looks like the little icing on a Hostess cupcake.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It does.
A little curl
It
on it.
does. I love this. It's so easy to wear. And I did wear it in the last couple of weeks. I mean, we've been down around 0 here, and it's just been so cold and so snowy. It's just an amazing warm day today. But I had this on with a black turtleneck, and it was like perfection. It's a DK weight sweater, right?
Yes.
And I knit mine in sport weight yarn, but I got gauge with it. So I figure it makes it wearable with a turtleneck under it when it's really cold. And without as the spring gets here. But it looks just really nice with blue jeans, and I do get wear out of this one. So very happy with it, highly recommend. I of course recommended it to these guys, and Claudia's working on one, and Janet's
Getting
about
ready.
to.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting really close.
Yeah.
Casting mine on.
Okay, so my last one is the Pressed Flower Cardigan by Amy Christoffers. And here's the video. And I have to say I really love this. I did modify again the size. I think she required 24 stitches, and the yarn that I used I was at 23, so I went down a size, I think. I did a 47. I don't know if I went down a size or not, but I can't remember her gauge now I think about it. I'll have to look at
See, the pullover, I think, might be a different gauge.
it. Is a different gauge, and you used a heavier yarn, I think. I think hers required fingering, and I used a sport.
Mine was DK for the pullover.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, here we go. Anyway, I love it. It does kind of blow out the green a little bit, but so the background is Juniper Moon Farms in Organic Merino, Patagonia Organic Merino in the colorway Anthracite, and the flowers are Gilsk Tweed in colorway 9T, which is sort of a blue-green. And yep, we all wore these at Rhinebeck, and it was a fun day. I mean, because people saw all of us with the same sweater on, and yeah, people were talking to us.
Yeah.
They all found us. One thing that I did do is, because it was decided it was going to be too big, so I had to make a decision on how I was going to deal with the body in this, because it is a bottom up, and I'm unbuttoning it right now. So I had to fold over some of the body in order to make it so it would fit better. Otherwise, it was just going to be too big. And so I have a full repeat of a flower that I folded over when I put on the button band. And when I started the decrease for the V-neck, I just bound off stitches and then went on up.
I think it looks so much
Wow.
more finished also. You know, I mean, seriously, if that flap's open when it's not buttoned,
It looks finished.
it
yeah.
just looks so finished. That's,
There you go. You can always do that.
yeah, it's like, love that.
So,
And it's not heavy, so it doesn't even make it bulky. And it actually adds a little bit of
structure.
in the front, right at that point. Yeah. Yeah, that was just
Very
brilliant
nice.
when we.
Came up with that.
Yeah,
I'm
it's like, oh.
yeah, sometimes it takes me a while to figure out, okay, I have a problem. Houston, we got a problem. And then I have to sit and conjugate, let my brain work on it for a while.
We drew pictures and did all kinds
Yeah,
of stuff.
so- Anyway, yeah, love it. And it's really warm. I'm surprised how warm it is.
Yeah. Well, it's 2 layers of sport. So when you think about it being a sport weight sweater, it's really not. It's kind of a little more than worsted.
Yeah, right?
Once you double the sport up.
Yeah.
But it's all slip stitch color work again, which
Yeah.
is really
Really
handy.
nice.
Yeah.
Really nice. Yeah, I really love slip stitch patterns.
yeah, I do too.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, Janet, what's next?
My next one is the Monday sweater by Petiteknit. And here's the video. Oh, and every one of mine, I have some labels put in the side. I think we all did.
Yeah.
We didn't really show those.
So,
But I love this sweater, and I think it's, basically the yarn. And I made kind of a simple sweater, which, it's like an everyday sweater with this collar that gets sewn in,
It's folded. Yeah.
folded, and sewn in, and the yarn just makes it.
so
And
beautiful.
so I used the Good Wool by Pearl Soho, and the colorway was Lemon Meringue. And then I used the Sheepyshire Dandelion in Go Figure Go Home. This was some yarn that Claudia had gifted me for Christmas a couple years ago. And so it just worked out really, the 2 colors together really blended really well. And
The buttery colored yarn
Yeah.
underneath really makes
It's a nice compliment.
yeah.
yeah, so it's really soft and comfortable. And
It's a great
once
pattern.
again, it's like a 40.
Yeah.
And yeah, great pattern. It was fun to knit, and I really like it.
Yeah. Okay. No modifications? No, probably not. I
Nope.
mean, it's just
Just
petite knit is just.
yes,
Easy,
perfection.
easy.
All right. So my last of the 5 is Framed by Andrea Mowry. And then here's the video. So I did do modifications on this. I did not want to knit the color work flat. You've all seen the framed sweater. I did this in hopes of running into her at Rhinebeck, and we did, but I did not stand on the hill. I had no compunction. There were 5 of us, and I was the only one who had the frame sweater, but I was not going to stand in the line on the hill to get a picture taken. It just was not in the cards. We were done and ready to go. But what I did do, I steeked the armhole. So first of all, it's a worsted weight pattern. I use DK weight yarn, and I did bring the yarn. So the color changing yarn is Charles Stacy Fine Yarns, and it's a chainette, and I just really love this. It's got all these great colors in it. And then the brown, I bought it at, so it's this gorgeousness. I bought this the year before at Rhinebeck, and it is the Better Breakfast DK. And that one is by Bare Naked Wools, and I love these two together. So the funny thing about me even showing this is I really do love the sweater. I've never worn the sweater. I put it away, so I took it to Rhinebeck and didn't wear it, and I came home and unpacked and put it in. I've got a big zipper thing that goes under the bed in the guest room, the upstairs guest room, and I put it in there and put a bunch of other sweaters in with it, and promptly forgot that I had even made it. And I was looking through my projects the other day to figure out what my 5 were going to be, and ran across this. So Andrea was worried. Somebody had asked her on her what is that? Her podcast.
If I want to.
Yeah, the podcast where she answers questions, if she recommended steeking. And she said no, because she thought it would be too thick. Well, if you were using or worsted weight, which is what the pattern calls for, and knitting color work with worsted weight, you would have like 4 layers of worsted weight where you turn it back. And on mine, it's just DK, and it's just a tiny little spot where it's turned back right there. I mean, it's literally that white or the cream color is how I reinforced with a crochet reinforcement. But I love this. I will wear it now that I have rediscovered it. I think the colors are really good. These are like my jam, the autumnal colors. I love wearing those, and I've got a rust-colored turtleneck if it's not warm enough. And it should be just fine. So they're not my 5 most worn. I wear this all the time. I wear my pressed flowers. I wear, and pressed flowers here. What is the V-neck one? The Cumulus blouse. I knit 2 of those because I loved it so much. I wear those quite a bit. So we wanted to show you a variety of things, and so I went through, because I had knit so many things last year, I pulled out some things to show that I love, I just haven't worn a whole lot. So I can't give you any wearing advice on the actual yarns other than the Bermy Basic, because I have worn that one quite a bit. I think they're all going to wear really well. I mean, what these guys have shown have all worn really well, and we've used a lot of the same